Welcome back for the third installment of Physical Investment. So, yeah, last time I spoke a little bit about aqua therapy and walking backwards and forwards in the pool. Whenever working with water, just remember it's a different medium than air. Air offers no to minimal resistance, whereas water offers quite a bit. So always be careful, not just with water, but any activity that you start, of how much you do it first. Don't overdo it. Less is more, I like to say. So start off, if you haven't been doing it, with just maybe 5 minutes to test it out. And then if you tolerate it, do a little bit more. And so with water, I think swimming is a great cardio activity. I have my kids both learning to swim just because we live near an ocean, so it's a safety issue. So they don't have to be competitive swimmers, but it's a good safety skill to learn. So if you're comfortable swimming, swimming can be another great way to get that cardio in. So the next stretch I want to look at is for the quads, another muscle that flexes the hips on the front. It goes from the hip down to the knee. So one way that can be nice to stretch this is coming onto the side. And I'm going to rest my head on my arm, have my hips stacked one on top of the other, and then bend my top leg, bringing it in. If you can't reach back for your foot, you can always use a towel or a belt, and I'm going to put the timer on for that 45 seconds. Breathing here, letting that hip open. My bottom knee is a little in front of the leg on top that's being stretched. Breathing in and out here. My timer kind of goes out, so I have to flip it. I'm gonna let go of it for a minute. Still not there yet, about 5 more seconds. I was feeling for a little minute like the Julia Childs of activity. There we go, and that's 45 seconds. So switching to the other side, coming up through center, coming over here, coming down. You can always use a pillow underneath the head as well if the arm doesn't work for you. So again, bottom leg is slightly in front. You're going to take hold of that if that's available. Otherwise, grab a belt, and it can be a belt that you use around your waist. It can be a yoga belt. It can be a towel. It can be a hand towel to kind of loop it around the top of the foot. Good breathing here and seeing how this side might be different. You don't want the back arching, so you want to feel a little bit of that. You want to feel the core connecting your pelvis to the rib cage there. Finding some engagement. Breathing here in and out. And one side might feel different than the other side, right? A little tighter, a little more open. I say that's what makes the body interesting. It's like you have a different experience to look forward to. It's not like just rehashing the same thing that you had on the other side. It's a new adventure. I'm gonna check my watch. Okay, and that was over 45 seconds. I let it go a little long. So that was in the front of the hip. Bridging can be great. So I have a background in dance, yoga, and now physical therapy. And so bridging is kind of used throughout everything. I've done some Feldenkrais technique, and they really use bridging as an assessment. So this can be a great way to move the spine. I also think it can be a great way to work with the upper body if it's feeling super tight and tender, because you get extension of the arms without moving them directly. So you want your feet lined up, one next to the other. Not one in front, not one in back. If you need an outside eye, have someone look at it. And then from here, you're gonna curl the tailbone under, shift it, and then moving up here. and then coming back down. I'm kind of noticing where my spine wants to move together and where it doesn't. Where I was gripping in the neck maybe a little bit. So I can let my neck relax as my tailbone curls under, and I see right at the beginning as I'm initiating that, there's a little tightness there. I can breathe at the top here if that's okay. If not, again, if something doesn't work for you, stop, pause, check into that. Don't keep doing something that's not working, feels painful, and is inappropriate. So again, I'm gonna let the tailbone curl under. Good. I'm gonna see how much space I can find as I come up. Good breathing here. I'm not twisting my head from side to side. I like to try to look at the camera, engaging it because I know there's an audience out there. And so yeah, I'm just seeing how my body moves. And if you get to a point, so say, again, it's how it feels, not how it looks. Say you start and you get right here and you're like, oh, my back doesn't like going any further. Come back down, stay there, explore that. See if that's where you can engage and come into this extension activity. So again, it doesn't have to be high. It's more an exploration of how the back is moving. So these are 3 more activities to think about. And again, cardio can be done as a warm-up. It can be done after you do these other activities to supplement them. And you can mix and match. You can take one thing from here if you want more stretching, taking the stretching ideas and putting them together for more of a program to make it longer, or some of the core strengthening isometrics with the bridging. So thank you. See you next time.